Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, I am going to issue a community challenge to the community. Now, this isn't like the 10 Talk Talkies community challenge. This is more, his challenge is fun, but it's different. He ranks it. He puts together a master list. I'm not doing that. This is just fun. I'm just throwing out a community challenge. Me personally, I just want to see all of you guys Western movies. I'm putting together a community challenge for your Westerns. I just want to see what you guys like as far as your Westerns, what you got, what you like. See if there's some stuff out there that I want. So I'm issuing a challenge. I want your top, whatever number. I'm going to say 25, but here I got a little bit more than 25. Everybody, Westerns might not be your thing, so you might have 5, you might have 10. Give me whatever you got. Just give me a list of your top Westerns. I would like 25 or, 25. And I would like all of you to actually issue a community challenge just to keep the community fresh, to keep new content rolling, just to keep new ideas out there. And this is just another way for everybody to share their collections too. This is another way of doing that. So I'm going to issue a Western challenge. I want all of you guys to issue your own challenge and everybody to take part in everybody's challenge. That's going to do a couple of things. It's going to keep us all entertained because we're going to have new content to watch. We're going to share our collections. We're going to see what's out there. And we're just going to engage with each other. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to do Westerns. Hopefully somebody do war movies, somebody do thrillers, and we'll just keep it fresh and just keep it, keep it fun. So and when you do your list, I want you to set the rules for your list. Now I'm going to set some rules for my list. Right now, it's my top 25 Westerns. Honorable mentions is turned on. TV shows is turned on. Animated stuff is turned off. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at my top 25 Westerns. I do have a few honorable mentions. We'll get to those at the end. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start this list off with number 25, and this is not ranked. This is not ranked. You can do any order you want. We're going to go with The Revenant. 2015's The Revenant. This movie was phenomenal. The bear fight scene alone made this movie for me. I originally had this on DVD and I had to upgrade it because I really wanted to see it in its best resolution. This is one of those movies where I wanted to see it the best. Next up we have, I forgot the year for this one, but we got Sweetwater. Sweetwater, this movie was a pretty good Western. I dug it. It was actually pretty decent. Ed Harris, January Jones, Jason Isaacs. Yeah, this was a pretty good Western. Next up is a real good one. You got Ben Foster, Jeff Bridges, and Chris Pine. Hella High Water. Hella High Water came out in 2016. This is what you would call a modern Western. This is like in today's time, but it's still a Western. Absolutely a modern Western. Next up, we got 2007's The Assassination of Jesse James by a coward named Robert Ford. Brad Pitt did an amazing job in this movie. I dug this one. This was a banger. Oops. Whoa, okay. Next up, we got 2008's Appaloosa. Viggo Morrison, Ed Harris, Renee Zellweger, and Jeremy Irons. This was a phenomenal Western movie. A good one, a real good one. Here's a banger for real. And this got Guy Pearce in here, Ray Winston, Danny Houston, John Hurt, Emily Watson. 2005's The Proposition. Banger. Absolute banging movie. Great story in this one. The story in this one, you're going to like this one. And this is one that came highly recommended by the community. When I did I think I was talking about, when I did an underrated movie and we was talking about Guy Pearce, this movie came up several times. So I picked it up, watched it, and I actually enjoyed the living hell out of it. This is 1999's Ravenous. Man, this was, I'm telling you, this caught me off guard because it wasn't what I was expecting, the whole supernatural element to it, but it was, you know what this was? This was a dark comedy. That's what this was. This is absolutely a dark comedy. A real good movie. And here's one that just, again, with Guy Pearce, Dakota Fanning, Emily Jones, Karis Van Houten, and Kit Harington. This is Brimstone. I watched this movie, and Brimstone came out in 2016. When I watched this movie, I was blown away. Now, this movie got a lot of, craziness to it, but Guy Pearce, he killed it in this movie. Dakota Fanning, she killed it in this movie. Dakota Fanning, she grew up to be quite a good actress. Started off as a child actress. You don't get a lot of child stars that grow up and become really great adult actors or actresses. It happens so often with Dakota Fanning. She grew up and became a really good adult actress. And I just hope she keeps going, and I hope to see more from her because she was really good in this movie. Next up is one called, okay, let's see here. Oh, I wrote down the wrong information. I think this came out in 2016, I think, but I could be wrong. Let's see. You got Mads Mikkelsen. You know, jacking his last name up. You guys know who he is. He played in Hannibal and quite a few other things. Eva Green, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Salvation. This is a really good Western. It started off pretty good. It ended well. Good story. Phenomenal story. I dug this one. You'll like this one too. This one is a twofer. You got the Magnificent Seven all-star cast. And I just threw this one in for kicks because there's not too many remakes to Westerns like that. So I just threw in the remake with Denzel Washington because it was good too. But I'm talking about, for the sake of the video, the original Magnificent Seven. But the Denzel Washington remake was pretty good too. Next up we have 1990s Dances with Wolves with Kevin Costner. This was a fantastic movie. I dug it. Got this little special little box here. I like this with the little flap. Make it like a little book. Fantastic Western movie. Next up, we have a really good one. You got Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. And this is 2007's 3:10 to Yuma. 3:10 to Yuma is fantastic. Next up, we have The Quick and the Dead. We talked about this movie a couple of times on the channel. No need to really beat this one up, but I think this is like the third or fourth time this movie is coming up on the channel. It's a good movie. Then next up, we're going to do another twofer, 1988 and 1990s, Young Guns 1 and 2. Both of these movies are banging. The first one's just a little bit better, but they both bangers, absolutely. This here is a comedy Western, but Mel Brooks, he never fails to deliver, and he didn't fail on this one. Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles came out in 1974. This movie is absolute comedic gold. This movie is funny as shit on every level. You watch this, and you will probably lose a rib from laughter. Next up, we have 1994's Wyatt Earp. Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, and just an all-star cast in this one. The popular debate, which one is better, Wyatt Earp or Tombstone? You guys know where I sit. I'm not going to beat that one up no more, but here we go. Next up, we got 2012's. I can't believe this movie is over 10 years old already. I can't believe it. I feel like this movie just came out like 5 years ago. It aged very well. We have Jamie Foxx, and we have, let's see, Jamie Foxx, Christopher Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, Samuel L. Jackson in Django Unchained. Django Unchained, baby. Django Unchained. This movie needs no introduction. You know what this is all about. The Hateful Eight. This is 2015's. Again, Samuel L. Jackson, all-star cast. You got Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Walton Goggins, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, and Bruce Dern. Look at that. Love Bruce Dern. And here's one. Now, this is a movie, when anybody talk about Westerns, this movie don't come up. It just doesn't get a lot of love, and it's a banging movie, and I think this is Hilary Swank's second best performance of her career. Second best. And in 2014, The Homesman with Tommy Lee Jones and Hilary Swank. This is a phenomenal Western movie. It is a great story. Tommy Lee Jones and Hilary Swank give performances of their careers. Not for Tommy Lee Jones, this isn't the top, but Hilary Swank, I think this is right up there with her, like, second best of her career. Tommy Lee Jones, this is up there, but he got such a large body of work, it was hard for me to put a number on it, but this is a great job by both of them. A phenomenal movie. I dug it. Next up, we got 1990s Quigley Down Under with Tom Selleck. What a movie. Next we got, let's see, For a Few Dollars More, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. For a few dollars more, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Hell, we can even throw in A Fistful of Dollars and Hang 'em High. Or we could throw all 4 movies in this pack in. We could just throw all 4 of them in. Next up, we have 1968's Once Upon a Time in the West. Probably one of the best Westerns ever made. This is a newer Western movie. We got Tombstone. Tombstone came out in 1993. Always a popular debate between this and Wyatt Earp. It's going to always be there. It'll never go away. And probably in my collection, I can't speak for your collection, but in my collection, this is the best Western movie in my entire collection. And this is in my top 3 or top 5, depending on what day it is. This could be in my top 5 or my top 3 movies in my entire collection. This is Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. This came out in 1992. And you got Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris. Now, I want to get to 2 honorable mentions and 2 TV shows. Now, the reason why these are honorable mentions is because I actually put this list together before I found these, because when I punched in on CLZ Movies, it didn't list these as Westerns. And I didn't really, I know one is a Western, and I skipped it, but I made it an honorable mention. And one didn't show up in Westerns. But when I was pulling my movies, I said, wait a minute, this is a Western. So I just went into CLZs, did an edit, and just put it in the Western category. And that first honorable mention is going to be Rosewood. What a banging movie. And yes, this is most definitely a Western. This definitely took place in a... Now, this was moving towards the end of that era of Americana, but it was still back in that era. And we have Posse. Okay. Next up, we have Deadwood, the TV show Deadwood, and also I do believe the Deadwood movie is on here. This is a phenomenal TV show. I lucked up in finding this at my local mom and pop store. It is the DVD set, the Blu-ray set is out there, but I was able to find this for a great price, and I love this show. And here's one. This is definitely a Western from back in my childhood. This is Kung Fu with David Carradine. Definitely a Western. I loved it. Great. So, that's my community challenge for you guys. Is I want your best Westerns. I want your top 25 Westerns. Again, if you don't have 25, give me what you got. And I want you guys to all do your own different lists, and I would love to take part and do your list. Let's all have fun with each other. Let's interact with each other, and let's keep each other entertained, because that's what it's all about. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.